Hey there, welcome to Pepper Geek. In today's video, I want to talk about which size container you should be planting your pepper seeds in. Now we get this question a lot. Why do you plant your seeds in such small containers when they're destined for much larger containers in the future? Why can't I just plant the seeds directly in my 5-gallon pot or even directly in the ground outside? And that's really going to depend on your particular situation. We have our reasons for primarily planting in 6-cell containers like this one, but in other cases we'll plant our seeds in larger containers like this 2.5-inch pot, and even in some cases a 5-inch pot like this one. So in this video I'll rationalize why we do it our way and why you might want to do it another way yourself. But before I get started, check out our ebook, Growing Perfect Peppers. It's our entire process of growing chili pepper plants from seed to harvest. You'll find all of our tips and tricks in the book, so if you're interested, check it out in the description below. So why not plant your seeds in gigantic containers? I'll start with that. Why wouldn't you want to plant a seed in a container, say this size? This is a 1.5-gallon container. There are two reasons we don't do this. Number one is space. This one plant takes up a lot of room in our indoor growing space, and since we start our plants about 6 or 8 weeks before they go outside, planting 50 or more pepper plants in containers this size would take up an entire room. The other reason is this is a large body of soil. It's heavy and there's tons of soil, and when you plant a seed, there's nothing living in that soil yet. So when you water all of this soil, it's just sitting there waterlogged without roots to suck up the water. It's inviting problems to start. Now you might say that we could selectively water just around where the plant's roots are or where we think the plant's roots are, but in actuality you want the soil to be damp so that those roots will be traveling down and looking for the moisture, becoming a larger, robust root system. So those are the main reasons we wouldn't go with large containers, but why not something like this one here? This is a 2.5-inch pot, and in fact this plant was planted from seed in this container. And it's doing beautifully. Again, if space isn't an issue, then 2.5-inch pots, even 3.5-inch pots are perfectly suitable to start your seeds. That really is the only reason that we go with smaller containers, is the space factor. If we had to plant 50, 60, 100 pepper plants in these containers or 3.5-inch pots, again, it would take up an entire shelf on our seed starting rack instead of maybe just one 72-cell tray. With these pots, it's really not that much soil to keep watered. It's not like you're watering an entire gallon or more of soil that doesn't have roots in it. It's still a pretty small container, just a little bit more, allows the plant to develop a lot more before you move it to another location. This is one of our 5-inch containers, and this is about as big as I would go in terms of starting from seed. Anything beyond this, and you're gonna run into that problem with too much soil and too little plant root system to keep watered. By the way, these two colorful containers are from Bootstrap Farmer. We love their products. I'll leave a link down below where you can get either of these. So to summarize, if you're starting from seed and you only have maybe a dozen plants, then go ahead and start in a larger container. Maybe 2.5, 3.5-inch pots would be a good place to start. You can fit 18 of those in a single 10 by 20 tray. So that leaves plenty of room for those plants to grow in those containers and mature before moving them outside. If you're growing much more than that, then you might want to use what we use, these 6-cell trays. These are the most popular. You save a lot of space while the plants are young, and then once they outgrow these containers, we move them into larger containers. So in a weird way, I kind of wish we had less plants or maybe more space, because it simplifies the process. There's no transplanting until the plants go outside. You don't have to worry about dealing with messy soil indoors before they're ready to go outside permanently. So plant in larger containers if you have the space. What size container do you plant in? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious what's the most popular method and what containers do you use? We really love these Bootstrap containers because they're so sturdy and colorful. Makes it sort of easy to coordinate different pepper species and stuff like that. But where do you plant your seeds? What size container? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching Pepper Geek, and I'll see you next time.